there, welcome to a quick Rolling Rambles. Oh, this one, oh God, this has been something that's actually bothered me for longer than I've been an adult. And by bothered, I mean, I think it's the dumbest thing ever. Are you familiar with the concept of a hunger strike? Well, in case you've been living under a rock, which I don't know why living under a rock is the thing that we use for that, but if you aren't familiar, a hunger strike is where to protest something that someone else is doing that you don't like, you just sit somewhere and don't eat until, they respond, they do something. Well, I just was listening to a video by someone that I follow fairly frequently. It's about some political nonsense on some university campus where this girl went on a hunger strike and she had to be hospitalized. And she was surprised that the university did not care. Hunger strikes are stupid. I don't understand them. They don't make any sense at all. The only way that a hunger strike could possibly draw attention to anything is if it's some sort of much larger issue than the person doing the hunger strike, and you can get a whole lot of media attached to it. If you can get a whole lot of people interested in your little hunger strike stunt. But the problem is that it doesn't matter. And I don't care. If you decide that you don't want to eat for 60 days or something, and you want to hurt your body, hey, I'm a libertarian. I'm a pretty staunch libertarian. I think if you want to not eat and not take care of yourself because of some stupid cause, and you think that somehow that's going to magically help, be my guest. Go for it. I hope you win a Darwin Award because that's what you deserve. Oh, I'm going to have a hunger strike on the college campus, and I'm going to force the university to respond to my stupid demands because of my half-baked political opinions. Oh, well, cry me a river whenever you have to go to the hospital because you're a moron. See, if you were doing a hunger strike, which is essentially you're doing a very long fast, at a minimum, you should take in water with vitamins and electrolytes, and you might even have to eat a very small amount of food so that you can fast safely. You can't just stop eating. You can't just drink water for days and days and days and days and just magically be okay. That's not how that works. And somehow you think that these people value your life to the point that, oh, well, they don't care about my political opinions, but if I say that I'm gonna put myself in harm's way over my principles or over my opinions, and because you won't conform to what I think you should do about my opinions, I don't care. They don't care. Why should anyone care? You deserve a Darwin Award for being that stupid. Only someone college educated could be that level of stupid, I swear. So, hunger strikes, they make no sense. Fasting is awesome, though. Short fasts are pretty great for a lot of different things. I think the longest I've done is 60 hours, but man, that was an experience, and it went pretty well, actually. Getting back into the weight loss thing, you see, and I've been doing intermittent fasts, and we'll see how that goes. But this lady, I guess she decided that she didn't need anything to eat, and that somehow her suffering was going to make other people care. Look, the truth is we are long past the point where there's any sort of a real community, so to speak. People are just not that tight-knit anymore. The internet has both brought us closer together and pushed us farther apart. And what we've realized since if you look up the term monkey sphere, there's an old Cracked article from 2006 about the monkey sphere, which essentially boils down to you cannot possibly juggle more than a maximum of 150 human relationships in your life. Completely, physically, mentally impossible to care about more than 150 people at varying degrees. But 150 is the limit. These people are oh, you have to care about this political issue in God knows where bumfuck Kentucky in the world. And you got to care about this political issue, and this political issue, and this political issue. You got to care about this and care about this. And this, this is a problem. A bunch of people in a country I'm not in, and a country you're not in, and probably have never been to, are having a bad time. So it's your problem. No, it's not my problem. It's only my problem if some corporation decides that they're going to like go to another country, exploit slave labor there, because then they sell the stuff back here. Now I'm competing directly with a bunch of slave labor. Well, that's a race to the bottom, and what ends up happening is everybody ends up being unable to subside or exist remotely comfortably. Because if you can't do it for slave labor wages, then you don't get to do it. The slave does it, and that means that you don't get any wages until you are at those slave labor levels. And race to the bottom. That's the only way it affects me. But it doesn't affect me if a bunch of countries overseas are just squabbling with each other. I don't care. And I especially don't care if you decide that you're going to go hungry to protest it. You know what? Protest all you want. I don't think that I have seen stupider. I said stupider because it applies here. I don't think I've seen human beings that are more amazingly moronic than people who run around protesting all day. You have got to be the most college educated, the most daddy pays my bills, the most I took out a big student loan for housing and such, so I feel like I'm not paying anything to exist. You have to be the embodiment of idle hands are the devil's tool, plus someone else is paying my way right now. It really takes this like unrespectable human being to be this way, to get to the point where you'll be like, oh, I'm going to go on a hunger strike and people are going to care about me. Nah, we don't. We really don't. I got to be honest. I would love it if more people that think this way would go on a hunger strike until they too find themselves in a very expensive bed. Because if they did, then at least for the time that they're recovering from their bad decisions, they, A, aren't bothering the rest of us, so, actually have productive things to do, actually have to participate in society, to do something worthwhile, to provide a service, to do anything but run around screaming about problems that don't matter and that nobody cares about and that nobody should care about, off in a faraway land that they've probably never even been to. A, they leave us alone, us productive people that actually get shit done, and B, they'll have all that time to really think nice and deep about, well, did I do the right thing here? Maybe, just maybe, going on an uncontrolled long-term fast because of some half-baked political opinions about people somewhere across the world that I don't even know, maybe that wasn't the best choice. Maybe, just maybe, I'm making bad choices and I should make better ones. But you know what? I'm not going to give them that much credit because there's no way that these people could possibly break through the chains of the plantation that is their high education and their upper middle class upbringing to be able to actually think with a little bit of logic, a little bit of rationality, a little bit of reason, a little bit of, dare I say, the term I don't like because it's a logical fallacy, yet somehow it still applies here, common sense. Yeah. All right, that'll be it. Like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.